bill, and why is it not being signed?
It's of no relevance to Nigeria. The legislators, with due respect, have just shown that they lack the capacity to appreciate the relevance of legislation to the life of our people. If you go to the National Assembly and visit the archive and see the number of bills that are waiting for attention, law reform bill, administration of justice bill, bill in relation to empowerment, to ask the president to come and tell us the state of the nation. Who doesn't know the state of the Nigerian nation as we are now? We know the state of the Nigerian nation. Economy is down. Power, the Minister of Power herself said that 120 million Nigerians have no access to electricity. What other state of the nation do we want? When I feel that in the current situation that we are facing in Nigeria, when you want to pass legislation, you must look at the relevance of that legislation to the life of the people. Because as we are currently in a nation, we are asking for legislations that will empower judges and draw their salary from the Consolidated Revenue Fund to equip the courts. We are looking for a legislation that will ban public officers from traveling abroad for medical issues. Look at the governor of Central Bank was in America last week, and he was reeling out the figures of the number of people who travel abroad and the money being wasted on medical tourism. We seek such legislation. We seek a legislation that would not allow private jets.
Mandela is in South Africa.
We seek a legislation that will not allow private jets to become commonplace in Nigeria at the expense of the various local initiatives that are being made to ensure that Nigerians travel from one nation to the other. Those are the things that we require, that will create equilibrium for the people of Nigeria to have access to the Commonwealth of the resources of this country. So it is clear to me from the nature of the proceedings going on in the National Assembly, it will seem to be that we have elected the wrong people in that particular house. And I say this with due respect to all of them. Alero, look, you are in this nation since 1999. Every year, billions of money have gone down the drain in the name of constitutional amendment. And we have not had a single one successfully. People just keep perambulating and dribbling here and there and looking for money for the boys. So I think, to me, given the opportunity the president has to address the National Assembly at the time of presenting his budget, let him present the state of the nation in the course of the budget. Let the National Assembly harmonize their resources to be in reality with what Nigerians are earning. That's what I think is the state of the nation.
But is anything wrong with the president talking to the nation, say, every quarter, and telling us the state of the nation, what progress has been made or what non-progress has been made in each quarter of the year? Is anything wrong with that?
I think it will end up being a jamboree. Recently, I was thinking aloud.
What do you mean by jamboree?
They will turn it into a fun fair. People are in pain.
No, it's just for the nation, for the president to just face the nation and talk to the nation. Well, maybe at 7 o'clock in the morning, like they do on Independence Day or on the 1st of January.
There's several things which are glaring to everybody. Recently, I was thinking and I said, hey, in the 70s, it was a pleasure to ride a Datsun car as a taxi. From there, we moved to Peugeot. From Peugeot, we began Okada. Okada, Keke Marwa. Are we progressing?
No, we're going back up.
That's so. The state of the nation is known to everyone. We're in pains. The level of poverty, insecurity is alarming. Unfortunately for us, we are the architects of our own misfortunes. All those who are trying to pass the State of the Nation bill were either forcefully elected or imposed on Nigerians, and we all hailed the king. Take a census of the National Assembly and find out how many can you pinpoint. What is the percentage of those who are vociferous, of those who contribute? Most of them are just, hey, nay. That's it. And what do you expect?
No, but so show me.
Yeah.
the State of the Nation is, Nigeria won't be the only person. If it does pass, Nigeria won't be the only nation that has a State of the Nation address.
Yes.
In countries where they use it, in South Africa, it's in their constitution, in Ghana, in Zimbabwe, in the US. It's supposed to be...
in Maroyo, in Micronesia, in Russia.
Beautiful.
In
It's supposed to be a platform to help push or drive good governance and accountability. Don't you think it should work here?
Yeah, I think it should work here. We are in a presidential system of government. With due respect to my colleagues sitting here, I don't think they've actually perused the details of the State of the Nation address, because if you will see the import of what the National Assembly is trying to achieve. I have never been a sympathizer of the National Assembly viewpoints. I share most of the condemnations and the reservations they have about the people elected. But the truth must be told on this very only one bill. Don't forget that so many bills have been, tons of bills waiting for presidential assent, which none has been assented to by the president. The only thing being assented to by the president is the Appropriation Act, which that fact is there, except the other bills signed privately which are not known to the public. Number two, when you look at the provisions of the State of the Nation bill, what happens is the president is only quarreling with two aspects. One, the use of the word child, simply because there is a provision, under the president is claiming that it will conflict with Section 67 subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution. That is only the Constitution only envisages that it should, it should appear before the National Assembly once in a year, and that is on the issue of appropriation. But what the National Assembly, the new bill, is seeking to do is to have a kind of midterm review on good governance accountability, not about money, on security of the nations, on how the countries is being governed, to make the president more accountable. If you look at the provisions of Section 3 of that bill, which the president is yet to sign, or which is saying he will not sign, is actually saying that, look, from 1st of July every year, on the 1st of July every year, the president must appear before both chambers, of the National Assembly to explain issues of governance, to review what he has been doing for the past 6 months on governing Nigeria, to review the security situation, review the political situation. Is beyond just passing budget, and therefore cannot be lumped with budget. It will make government to be more accountable to the people. Go to Section 4 of the same bill, you will realize that Section 4 of that bill is actually talking about, look, if the president refuses to tackle the issue of impunity in governance, which we've seen once when the president last year refused to give the State of the Nation address, despite calls from the representatives, the so-called purported representatives of the people. And the president refused to heed that. We've seen so many examples where, trillions are being voted for security budget, in the country, which nobody can probe. But the government needs to explain what they are doing with that kind of money, to the Nigerian people when people are actually suffering. That Section 4 now make it mandatory that if the president refuses to appear before the National Assembly after being summoned, by a vote of 2/3 majority in both chambers of the houses, they can compel the president to appear and compel the president, to explain what they are doing about certain fundamental issues, e.g., for instance, security.
But that will be taking away the discretionary powers of the president.
Well, no matter just a minute, Ebon, no matter the discretionary powers of the president, let's go back. I don't know what is wrong with us in this country. In 1995, the Commonwealth Act, in 1995, establishes State of the Nation address. On the 1st of July, 1935, President Manuel Quezon of Philippines started that. George Washington, started State of the Nation address in United States of America. In South Africa, it was even the apartheid regime, of President de Klerk that started State of the Nation address in 1990. It has since been continued. It went on until Mandela continued it. We had Thabo Mbeki continued, and also the current president, in Jacob Zuma also continued. In Ghana, the State of the Nation address was actually started by President John Kufuor. Since then, the current president, the last president, continued with it, Professor Atta Mills, and now the current president is also continuing with it. When you look at countries that has made some progress, they have accountable president.
I beg to
Why
butt
is
in.
it that we don't want our president to be accountable?
I beg to butt in. Well, they've based the. I got to put this question to you.